Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is May 1st, 2022. Howard, where are you hiding?
I am in a tax haven of the Bahamas with COVID. I was here for the FTX event, and they finally got me. I have been living a pretty good life for the last 6 months on the road. No one here was, a few people I think have it. I don't know how I got it, but I have not been sick. A little bit of a headache,
Mhm.
tired for a couple days, but I wouldn't have thought I was sick. So I'm kind of bummed. But luckily, the kids don't need me, and I don't even think my wife's noticed I'm gone. Is that a problem?
Maybe for you.
Good,
Would,
I have
would,
a
you- would you
marital.
go back? Would you go back to the Bahamas?
It's a good question. I mean, obviously, because of FTX has such a big operation here now, yes. So I plan at least once a year, especially if they invite me, and they are investors in Stock Twits. But so it's great to meet their team. And what an event. I mean, I didn't get to see any of the speakers because I was networking and then quarantine, but just so many smart people. And like I said, it's fun to be around the creative energy. But it is just about money right now, so that gets a little boring. The products aren't quite exciting for people like me. So it's not much to talk about other than money. So let's get back to the markets where we're all losing it.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see here, we're looking at the chart of the Nasdaq 100,
Yeah.
and you can see the month of April was basically non-stop selling. You can see 4 weeks in a row, all down, all closing near the lows, and that's how we closed the month. So relentless selling in April. One of the reasons, obviously, rising interest rates and the market expecting the Fed to get a little bit more aggressive.
Hmm.
And we talked about it, how usually in the couple weeks ahead of the FOMC meeting, usually markets sell off, and they usually bounce after. So we'll see what will happen next week. The Fed meeting is May 3rd and 4th. The difference this time that we really had like a pretty major significant technical breakdown.
Yeah. A-
So
And we lost the semis. That was one where I was like leaning into some short ideas. Uh, but again, these things can bounce from these areas. But these look. I mean, if I go back to there's the S&P below the 200-day, which I think is really important. And as I mentioned in my blog post today, like a lot of volatility happens below the 200-day, good and bad. So you've got to
yeah,
keep dry
exactly. Yeah.
powder. You have to be in if you're not a short seller, you have to be in defense mode. So when you put something on, you got to be prepared to take it off, which I'm doing. And I'm doing less. I've been doing that for months, but I'm really trying to sit on my hands here and use wide bursts because stocks are still massively overvalued. So there's not much to say. There are some breakouts, but it's so thin. Merck, McDonald's is held in there. Merck is held in there. But I don't know. Like, am I going to make a fortune buying stocks in a bear market? No. And we're in a bear market. S&P's below 200-day moving average. I think we can agree on that. Who cares about the 20% down or up? Nasdaq's in a bear market by what's it down 23% from its all-time high.
Yeah.
So I don't know what 50% of the stocks are down, or 20% of stocks are down 70% or more in the Nasdaq. So it's really apples. She
Yeah.
was here this week, Kathy, and it's just it's almost a crime at this point. There's no her one big position she's kind of gotten out of in Tesla, so at least she's done that. But maybe that a bit should have been her whole fund, Tesla, because that's held up better than everything.
Yeah. I don't think she's allowed to own to put more than 10% of the funds in one stock. So that's the
Uh,
issue.
she's not even supported by Tesla at this point. I don't know what she's doing, but lacking some discipline. In tech, I don't know, some of her comments about, when the global macro conditions are this changed, right? And there's so much uncertainty amongst the best companies in the world, Apple and Amazon especially, for her to be, touting, forward returns of 50% are ridiculous. So that's what the market does to
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that's something that she can legally say, like
She said it.
talking about those returns. So
Yeah.
that probably is gonna hunt her at some point in the future. But either way, last week we had the big tech report earnings, the Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook. I mean, it wasn't really unexpected that some of them are really gonna miss. The market reaction has been pretty brutal, as you can see. Amazon really breaking down here, probably heading to I don't know, maybe 2000 in a really bad market. Apple beat estimates, but even they sold off in a weak market. Typically, everything really goes down.
I think what people have to realize is how good the numbers are going to have to be for these to start trending up again. So they're going to have great numbers in a higher interest rate environment. So I think people just have to get, forgetting about where we came from, are going to have to start thinking about where these things can go on the downside over the next 6 months to a year, if rates just stay where they are and tensions, no other new factors going in.
Yeah, we're resetting expectations basically, or at least the companies are. And the market is resetting expectations. So we don't know. It might take 3 months. It might take 9 months. And typically the market usually overcorrects, just like it overdo it on the upside. It usually overdo it on the downside. So what we know right now that we are in a downtrend, correlations are very high. So even energy and basic material stocks are starting to feel it. Obviously not in such a major way as tech, but even they are starting to pull back. And
I saw one chart that blew my mind, and it was the growth to value ratio. But again, like, it's not anything we don't know. And the value stocks have held in, dividend stocks have held in.
As of now, but
as of now,
if the correction continues, we know that everything's going to get hit. And
how are utilities holding up, Ive?
I mean, as we talked last week, even they're starting to pull back, which is kind of expected in a.
What about the transportation?
In a rising interest rate environment for them to be hit. Transportation is looking really bad, and so is home builders, kind of on a virtual breaking down. So it'll be interesting if the Fed is going to blink this week, and they would say maybe the threat of recession is becoming bigger than the threat of.
There's a recession. Inflation. XHB, where was the home builders at? They were at all-time highs, and now
they're down. Let's look weekly.
30%.
So 30% from their 52-week highs.
That's a relentless sea of red. March, April, May, June. March.
Look at those 4 weeks, just trying to rally, cannot rally, and just finishing.
Look at those 12 weeks, like right from January.
So if this level is broken, we could probably have a big down move. So we're in the midst of earnings season. Obviously, some companies are doing better than others. Facebook was the big surprise last week. I mean, they even guided down and still went up. So I guess it's kind of showing that maybe the market overcorrected.
Trading at 20. It's not like it's trading at 15 times.
Yeah, it has become a value stock. Maybe Warren Buffett is gonna.
We know that word is a trap, but like
start.
You gotta. It's fun to make fun of these big companies, but like they're getting to the point where any good news, you see spikes. So the shorts are leaning in. Even like Goldman and JP Morgan are getting hammered. So I think, like I said, do less, pick wide bursts if you want to own some great brands, but they're also just breaking down. So I think you really need to see some.
Yeah, everything is breaking down. I mean, there are a few exceptions, but in such a bear market, it's kind of really hard to trust them. Like, let me show you a few exceptions. Like Box is kind of holding. I don't know why.
Juniper was holding. Go look at Juniper. It was holding, and then boom.
Yes.
Yeah, Box is a small.
Exactly. So it's irrelevant. And then another one that stood out, that is standing out this week. AONTH.
That's just a specific story with great news.
Yeah, so in
Yeah.
a bull market, that would be like over 100 by now. On these numbers, look at the acceleration in
Yeah.
earnings,
So that's
sales.
Lantheus is again around heart products. Again, I don't know the area, but keep that on your screen because if the market turns, we're going to see this.
Yeah, if
sector.
this stock can make new all-time
And
high.
maybe this sector, again, diagnostics and medical. So
in such a weak market,
that's a
and
good sign. So that's a
and
good
it
sign.
would-
What's the market cap though? It's tiny. So again,
well, as I said, they're slim pickings. When they're slim pickings, it's usually not a good idea to be long for more than a
$600
trade.
million. So it's a tiny company. Oh no, 4 billion.
Let me see, where is the market cap? So 4 billion, yes, 4.5.
Yeah. So
Mid cap.
listen, that is a nice winner for the people that found that, and it definitely, was a nice breakout to 4. Anyways, they're few and far between. And what are any of the old COVID stocks working out? Because it's like endemic at this point. I
I
guess.
mean, the vaccine stocks have been destroyed. I think at this point, only
Wow.
the Mercs, like the companies that sell that pill,
Yeah,
COVID pill.
J&J's done fine. I think the tobacco stocks have done fine, maybe.
Yeah, but even they're pulling back
Yeah.
at this point.
Anyways,
So
there's nothing, people. You got to do less. Follow Ivan. I'm sure you're swinging both sides here, right?
I'm swinging both sides. I mean, I'm doing less. I am trading less in this environment because I know that there are easier times to make money and to be aggressive. So
in the
I'm
40
doing a
to
lot less.
50% invested of whatever stocks I have, even though there's a lot of breakdowns, just because I was not trying to time the market, but even that's been wrong. I think my favorite growth people are like 20 to 30% long, and even that they're on the verge. They're almost 100% cash. So
So I mean, the good news right now is, guess, that sentiment has really become super bearish. Like if you read Twitter or anything, like everyone is super bearish right now.
Yeah.
So
That's what happens.
That's the
That they
silver.
get rallies, but these are not going to be bull. These are not a beginning of a new bull.
So I saw you on the stream kind of that you said that you're starting to nibble. Typically you're early, but your intuition is correct.
Yeah, I'm nibbling just based on, but I've been wrong on e-commerce and the cloud. So what do I know? But again, I know only one trick, and when I see prices down 70%, I'm grateful that I was selling on the way up, but I've been early.
Yeah, what are you nibbling? Like Netflix, stuff like this, Shopify?
Netflix, Shopify. I've been nibbling on Coinbase. These are just terrible looking charts. Personally, I've been selling some puts below the market. I'm eyeing some Spotify. I sold out Spotify like 170, 160, but I'm eyeing that just because, $20 billion, it's like, why wouldn't someone want to own this?
Yeah.
Just clean up the market. So there's going to be some surprises, as I wrote about today. The Apollos and Silver Lakes, and even the SoftBanks, they're sitting on piles of cash, and these companies aren't going out of business. They just are big, and when valuations go down on big companies, weird stuff can happen. I was even looking at Robinhood, and I don't own it. I own a few shares, not enough to care about anymore, other than there's some drama there, right? 6 billion in cash. Well, 6 billion in cash too, Ivan. So
I'm surprised that someone like Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley wouldn't buy them. Like
it's still a $15-20 billion bid that's going to have to get it going. That's real money. But what I'm saying is there's all kinds of opportunities out there for create, and there's just so much money out there. Like I said, Thomas Bravo, Apollo, Silver Lake. So like I'm saying, like short sellers are having fun. They should. And in a world where GME is still trading what? And the things that get me freaked out still is you still got GME trading at, I don't know, it's not a company in my opinion.
10 billion, almost 10 billion. But yeah, even they're starting to pull back.
Yeah, but it's pulled back a few. And then you got the Trump SPAC still trading as if it's a something.
What was it? DWAC, something like this.
So it's still trading up.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of weird shit in the market. But anyways, have a great week. Hoping to get home.
All
Uh,
right.
you never miss home until you can't get home.
When are they releasing you?
You have to do a test every day.
Okay.
And so far, I keep testing positive. So
Wow. Maybe it's a like a fake
maybe they want
result.
me to. Maybe they're just testing me like a
False
lab.
positive. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
all right. See you next week.
Have a great week.